What's up, mother foxes? We're back with this engine. Yes, okay. So we have to go ahead and get this painted. Yeah, again on this channel, right? I will spare you the boredom of that. I'll just paint this thing, get it out of the way. That's the first thing we gotta get done to it. Then the block's ready to go. The other thing I need to do is I need to clean pistons, heads that are going on this. I do have two 306 assemblies, but when I went to, and I planned on putting in there, when I went to get this block out, I said, you know what, I probably should look at the pistons. And when I did, they were 40 over. So I have to use those pistons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this painted, and then I got to clean those. So I got to take the old rings off them. The rings on there might be usable, but just for, you know, since I'm going this deep in it, we're going to take them out and replace them. I got another set. But I got to clean them, and then I got to deburr them. And when I say that, it's because these things were sitting in our shed right outside here for years in a plastic tote. And, you know, hot weather, cold weather, dry weather, wet weather. Somebody bought some heads. I went out there to get them, and I picked the tote up these were in, and it just disintegrated. These fell all over the floor. So, not knowing I was ever going to use these, I chucked them in a bucket. So they fell on the floor all over the place, then I chucked them in a bucket. So now I'm going to have to deburr them. Yeah, so make sure there's, you know, no burrs on them or anything, because that wouldn't be a good thing. That's the one thing I learned about putting these engines together. You got to deburr stuff like the bearings, the rings, the pistons, because I was surprised when I was putting Black Sunshine's engine together, all the burrs that were on the main bearings and the rod bearings, and I deburred everything. And I had to deburr the pistons because I was trying to get the rings on there. I bought the tool, by the way. And then the rings themselves had some burrs on them. So I made sure everything was nice and smooth before I put it on. I think it's important. That's one thing I don't see when you watch these videos of people putting engines together, ever emphasizing that. But to me, that's important. That's my opinion anyway, that you get all the burrs and everything on them that are going inside there. Make sure everything's nice and clean. But so with that said, I don't think I'm going to bear you the horrifying footage of me painting or red on this block. So, pour 15. Every time you leave it sit for a while, this is the engine enamel. It creates a crust on top of the paint. But you flip that crust over, you get plenty of paint to use. Look at that. Gotta use all the whore paint that you possibly can. Gotta get your money's worth, because it's with you for a short time. Anyway, let's get on with this, huh? You guys remember paint the fence. Paint the fence. Well, you know what we got here. I know what you're thinking. Paint the whore. Paint the whore. Just slap it on the whore. Anyway, I'm just messing around here. Let's get this thing painted red, and you'll see it. Next time you'll see it, it'll all be red. What color do you think I should paint the cylinders? Okay, guys. Hey, come over here. Don't be looking at the whore. Look at me. It's time to clean some pistons. Yeah, this is going to be exciting. Second look on these. There's dirt and stuff on them, obviously, from falling in the shed. So, yeah, looks, I mean, nothing grandiose about this. Yeah, that's about how they look. So we're going to get the carbon off there. I got some acetone. I got some brake cleaner. Yeah, there's some chunks on there. But let me pull these rings out. So alright, there's my progress so far from what they look like to what they look like now. So I'm not looking to get them spotless, guys. It's just get all the carbon off them. And I guess the hardest part of cleaning these things is the freaking grooves. So I've been using a brass brush to scrub it and a nylon brush because this gets into these grooves here. So nothing that's scratching these things up or anything, but there's far better things that I'd like to do right now. Clean pistons. I gotta go put another coat on. The whore block, quit looking at my whore. Alright, there it is. Whore red, all done painted. Pistons are all clean, de-ringed. We'll ring them later, but that'll have to wait till tomorrow. There's my rings, and there's the old stuff right there. As always, Saturday evening, UFC's on. See you tomorrow. Alright, we're back out here. Unexpected change in events. So, now, this car had an engine, okay? I had it rebuilt. Then I decided to go 351, and then traded that block off to Justin for some rims. Well, so now I have two 306 assemblies. Black Sunshine's 306 assembly has a brand new crank, but it got scarred up because of those guys put a dirty engine together. So but I have the assembly for this car, and I had to pull the pistons down last night. Let me show you. So there's the pistons. Here's one of them right here. These are brand new, rings and everything. So I'm gonna get the bearings out of this. The unexpected turn of events was Justin had the bearings for the crank for this. This crank that's going in here is 30 under, and that's what these bearings are for. And I had left them in my main caps when I sent them the block. So I showed him a picture of this, and he said, cool. And I said, I need some bearings. He goes, okay, you want me to bring them over? I was like, what? Yeah, apparently he had to go to Lowe's. Lowe's is like a half a mile up the road here. So he brought me some goodies. Let's take a look, man. Boom, there's my bearings and the rear main seal. Don't have to buy one of those, so that's cool. So I'll have to clean these up a little bit, man, because you know they're bouncing around in a box. Just make sure they're all good. And then of course my main caps are over here for this. I'm missing 2 bolts. So, and there you go. There's the bolts that were in there. I don't think these are like ARP or anything, guys. I think they might be. Well, they don't say ARP on them, so they'll work. I guess we're putting a 306 together. Well, sorry, 308. We're gonna put a freaking 308 short block together today. Yeah, wasn't planning on that because I didn't expect him to come back and say, hey, free delivery. So, welcome back to Things I've Never Done Before. I'm Sean. So, we're gonna pound this freeze plug in there. I already put our TV around it. That was a messy adventure. So, just putting this over this because it's got sawdust on it. I did sand it off, but I'm lazy. I didn't do it that good. So, we're gonna go ahead and tap that little bitch in there. Let's see what happens. Look at a little smudge-a-rooney on there. I think that was a smudge-a-rooney. Sorry about that. Is a dead blow good enough? I don't know. Things are getting solid. Got myself. I think this stopped working. Kind of flush, but not flush. Is that the look we're going for? I don't know. Suppose we can give her a good look up the dress. And yeah, nothing got on the bearing. That's further away from the bearing than I thought it would be. Sweet. Yeah, it feels flush all the way around. And I feel that. But here we are. Ugh. Yeah, I went through this last week too. Alright, folks. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of sanding right there. Alright, so what you didn't see on these caps that I did off camera, guys, was that harmonic balancer problem they had. Well, it made the edges of these all freaking just tons of burrs. I had to take a file to them and some 80 grit sandpaper. Now they're nice and smooth, but yeah, there were some problems. Plastic gauge. I know when you do these, people say you're supposed to do all of them. The last 347 in the other car, I didn't. We just did like, I think the front, the middle, and the end. A couple people got upset about that. But you know what? Good for them. But I'm gonna stick this on here and on every one of them, see what's going on. You know what I mean? Let's get some bolts. Alright, man, these are like 60 to 70 foot-pounds, and look at this. I bought one of these. I saw these on eBay. I got a couple of these. Old school torque wrenches, man. This is pretty cool. So we're gonna go ahead and there's about 70. There's about 70. There's 70. All this just to after I'm done here, loosen them up and take them back off. I dig that thing, man. Way better than that stupid Harbor Freight bullshit. And a lot cheaper than one of them digital ones. And what's the verdict on this one? It's looking to be about a 4. I don't know if that's right. Actually, it's okay. So, as I'm reading my, what is this, Hayes, whatever. A lot of people say these are not useful. They're very useful for tech specs and things like this. So, yeah, it says 79 through 81. This being an 80 block, we'll go with that. It's telling me journal 1 has to be a certain amount, but all others 0.0004 to 0.0015. 3 zeros? 004. Is that right? I don't know. What is number 1? Probably not right here. Yeah, man. Ooh, this one looks fat. It looks fat as hell. This one's 0.002. Let's see what the internet says. It says ideal rod bearing. That's not what I'm looking for. Will be approximately 0.002 to 0.0025 clearance, as will the main bearings. Oh, then we're good. We are good. I'll believe the internet. Because I don't have to do anything. And even if they were off, I'd probably have to get different bearings maybe. I know somebody's probably they're already typing down there, that's not right, it's an 80 block, it's supposed to be what it says. You can't go back in time to stop me, so there. We'll go with the internet. Because everything's true on the internet, right? And I'm not going to use these bolts. I decided that I will buy some main cap bolts. They're not too expensive. Well, I got some other things I got to do. It's getting late in the day here, guys. So I'm not going to get the pistons in because I got to ring those, and then it takes a while to get all those pistons in. I don't have time for that today, but I'm going to put the main caps back on it, and then we're going to figure out what we got to do here. I'm probably have to get the other stand, and we'll get rid of this table by putting this on it. We'll put the main caps on it, and I think my dad and I can lift this thing when we put the thing for the engine stand on it. I think we can lift it and put it in there. We put the pistons in there with this. It's getting a little too heavy for a couple of us old dudes. One of us is older. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Next, after I get the pistons in here, we're going to pull those heads in and look at the seals, see if they need to be replaced or not. And oh, and by the way, Ford Blue Gauge approved of that plasty gauge. Is he related? Anyway, thank you. We're out. Later.